name is Echo Morgan, and my Chinese name is Xie Rong, means thank you roses. It's a nickname for my hometown Chengdu. It's where all the pandas coming from. How I got involved with London Print Studio. I think one of the curator, Helena, she saw my work at a work in progress show at the Royal College of Arts. I did this vase installation, which is paper made by willow and tissue papers. It's like a Chinese ceramic vase, and I was body painted as a Ming Dynasty blue and white bone china vase, and then I was standing inside of the vase and then reveal some of difficulties from my childhood memory. And Helena really liked the work, so she emailed me, asked me if I have any work she can show for the Reconnection exhibition in the summer. So that's how I first got involved. Who inspires me? I think my work come across autobiographical, so a lot of people picking up Tracy Emerson, but I think I started doing performance from last year. So like the female artist Maria Branovich, of course, has been a huge influence. But from my Chinese roots, I would like to say Chinese artists are a massive influence for me as well. Printmaker like Xu Bing, how the way he used Chinese tradition like a woodcut block text prints, and how the way he understood Western and Chinese philosophy. Song Dong, amazing conceptual artist, and young artists like Cao Fei, who is from the same generation as me, born in the early 80s. So her work is very much deal with the issues happening in Chinese society now. And also I start making films, so French filmmakers, Agnes Varda, Chris Marcus, are all very big influence for me as well. For this work I'm showing at this exhibition is called Little Red Flower. And I'm showing 3 digital prints with one film. I made this work exactly this time last year when I came back from St. Petersburg. When I went to St. Petersburg, I kind of imagined the Stalin's Red Soviets, like post-communism country. I imagine I would find a lot like cultural roots in there. And I was deeply disappointed because it was gray, it was cold, and it was like any other major cities around the world. It's piles of fur and neon lights. It's consumerism, that's all I can see. And on the day of return, I work for this very fancy boutique in Knightsbridge. My boss said to me, how can we get all the Chinese girls in the shop? Now it used to be the Russians and Arabs, and now the Chinese girls, how can we get them here? And I just sat there kind of thinking about my disappointment with chasing for my cultural roots in St. Petersburg, and how China is like now. Because I've been working in the boutique for the last 8 years, and like slowly I can see like we have more and more Chinese people shopping here, and majority of them are very young Chinese girls. So they spend mom and dad's money, and then you can really see it reflects how the Chinese economic booming is happening. There's more and more Chinese students. So at the night, I went home and then discovered me as a poor student. I have 27 different red lipstick, including Chanel, Dior, MAC, all the different brands. And suddenly I just thought, I do want to use those lipstick, those cosmetic makeup to kind of make a short performance. So I covered myself completely, starting with apply the lipstick and then gradually cover my whole body. And I think at the time, my memory just kind of goes back to my childhood, how I always been choosing as the little monitor performing about Chairman Mao on the stage. And people always used to give me a paper folded red flower as a reward for good behavior. And those kind of memory are deeply rooted in my artwork, because when I say to my tutor, the first performative act I had, literally, it's when I go to restaurant, I put my hands 90-degree angle whenever I ask a question. Until now, whenever in the group discussion, I put my hand up because that's just how the way I've been told. It's so deep that the way how I behave myself or think, it's hugely restricted by the communist early education. At the moment, I'm working a new series of work because since last year, all my performance seems kind of traced from hair, skin, memory, and the voice. So somehow all the characters and the images I've been creating become a person itself. So people saying it's me, physically it's me, but actually the work itself, it become a person. And then I kind of using very symbolic colors. So there's blue, there's black, there's gold, and there's red. And each color kind of reference the kind of different cultural roots and then cross-culture kind of influence for myself. So now I'm working with the green. Because historically, like from Song dynasty, which is my favorite dynasty from Chinese long history, people always have this beautiful water and mountain paintings, and you always see this singular body floating, drifting in a spiritual way, like in the woods and in the mountains. So I made this suit completely decorated with leaves, and I stood inside the forest for 1 hour. It was really cold. And I sing the song, and the song is Wu Wei 风儿吹动我的船帆，帆儿轻轻随风荡漾，送我到日夜思念的地方。This is a nursery song my mom used to sing to me before I go to bed. And it says, the wind is blowing my boat is drifting in the breeze. Please send me back to the place where I miss day and night. I haven't been back to China for 5 years. I'm going back this Easter. So I think this performance somehow captured where I am at the moment. I think I deeply love China, and I really value my Chinese roots very much, but the fast developing China become unrecognizable. So for me, sometimes I think of myself as an old Chinese scholar, want to be drifting away in the nature, and they used to call it 归真, which means return to real. So that's what I'm working on. I think for this performance, in the end, we choose to add one act is pouring red pen onto the wall and then install the picture on top of it. I think that action brings me back to the installation. It brings the print back to the exhibition.